What's going on, guys? We are back with another SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z review, and this time we are taking a look at the new SH Figuarts Shenron. And man, it is a huge box. As you can see here, I have two figures just to give you guys a size comparison of how big it actually is. We have the Figuarts Super Saiyan 3 Goku with his SH Figuarts counterpart, and I will have a comparison review of these two guys coming up real soon, so do look out for that. But first of all, let's get these guys out of the way and we'll have a look at the packaging. So this is probably the biggest SH Figuarts box that I have ever received or I have ever bought. As you can see here, we have an awesome picture of Shenron right at the front. It's your standard, SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z colors. You got, the image of the product on the front with some black and white photos on the back there. You got the display window showing, Shenron's head there popping out at the top, and we also get a view of the Dragon Balls with the effect piece as well. SH Figuarts Shenron logo down there on the side. Tamashii Nations, Bandai, and the Toei Animation logo down there on the bottom. And down here on the side here, we have Shenron's name in kanji. And looking at the back here, we can see Shenron in his iconic anime pose, the pose that we see him most in the animation. You can see he comes with a display stand. He is articulated, but I think for most people he's going to be a display piece, probably a backdrop piece for their Figuarts collection. Like I said, like I mentioned before, he does come with an effect piece down here at the bottom, along with the 7 Dragon Balls. On the right here, you can see the electric effect from Figuarts. That comes separately. That's only for this promotional shot. As I mentioned earlier, he is articulated. You can see that his mouth is articulated. Obviously, his body does have joints in them, so you can actually articulate it. But I think, for the most part, we're going to have him in this display stand, most likely in this iconic pose. So here he is out of the box, and I just wanted to show you guys what he looks like when you take him out, still in his clamshell. As you can see, Shenron does need some assembly. He is broken up into 4 pieces. You do get a set of instructions on how to put him together, but I don't think it's going to be too difficult. It also shows you how to put together the stand as well. You can see there on the side. I will be taking a look. I will show you guys each individual part separately, and then we're going to be putting him together. Yeah, just like a Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure. So that's going to be fun. Let's crack him open. And here is Shenron out of the package, and we're going to take a look at the piece with the head first of all. And yes, it does look very much like Shenron. You can see those beautiful pearlescent eyes, which are not painted. They are a separate piece. His body is all molded in that fantastic scale detail there. The body is molded in this green plastic, and the underside of his body here is painted yellow with those red details there as well. Going back to the head sculpt, the sides of his head are molded in a soft green plastic. The horns are painted and they are soft plastic as well. As I mentioned earlier, his jaw is articulated, so you can open his mouth or close it, whichever position you want. It's kind of hard to see here, but inside his mouth it is painted as well a darker pink. His tongue is a separate piece and it is painted a lighter pink. The teeth here are painted white. It's painted quite nicely. There are no paint smudges for as far as I can see. So everything is done really well. Not too much paint apps, but for what it does have, it is done pretty well. Here is Shenron's, I guess, body all extended. As you would imagine, these pieces are separate and they are held together by a ball joint, so you can get some really cool movement going on there. Left, right, up, down. There are 8 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you include the head. So this is probably the most articulated part of the body. The whiskers of Shenron's head do come separate, so you do have to plug them in. You got a bigger hole, bigger peg, smaller hole, smaller peg. So we're gonna put it in right now. You want to be careful because these pieces, even though they are soft plastic, it isn't actually, well, it is bendable, but it's not going to hold its shape. And I think if you do bend it too much, you might run the risk of having some stress marks. So I would be careful with that. And plug in his other whisker. Oops. Very handsome. Look at that. And moving on to the top half of his body. Again, this piece here is all molded in that green plastic. Scale details are all molded in. Underside of his belly here is painted, and painted pretty well. Yellow is usually a pretty tough color to paint, but it did come out really nice. There isn't actually any shading. It's all one solid yellow color. This section of the body is only two pieces. You get your main top half of the body, and then you get the lower half of the body, and it is on a ball joint, and you can pivot a little, but there isn't much movement there. It does swivel, so you do get that bit of articulation there, but it does have 2 of the 4 arms, or 2 arms, or 2 of the arms. The other 2 are legs, and they are pretty well articulated. You do get, the full 360. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, a wrist swivel, and wrist hinge. The arms do plug in via a ball joint. There is no butterfly joint. Not that you would probably need them, but you do still get a bit of in and out motion there for the shoulders. So yeah, pretty all-round, pretty good all-round articulation there for the arms. Moving on to the second half, or the lower half of his body. It's pretty much the same as the upper half. It is broken up into 2 sections here. Again, there is some pivot because it is attached via a ball joint, but the main articulation is in the swivel. It does come with the lower half of the arms, the other arms, and again they are articulated the same as the upper half arms, so it does have a full 360 here at the shoulder. It does move up and down quite well. Double jointed elbows, a swivel here at the wrist, and hinges as well. And finally, the tail. It's broken up into 3 sections. Once again, they are on ball joints, so they do get the swivel and the pivot, so you can position it to some degree. Alright, so let's put this guy together. I'm just gonna grab Goku from Figuarts, the Figuarts line, just to give you guys a quick comparison. And obviously these guys aren't in scale. I don't think we're ever going to get a Shenron in scale. That would be absolutely insane. We might get a Shenron in the Figuarts line, who knows. That would be an interesting model kit to put together. But yeah, this is what it looks like with one of your 6-inch scale or 7-inch scale figures. So Shenron does come with his 7 Dragon Balls, and it is painted a metallic, almost orangey gold color. It is shaded, so you do get a lighter gold going into a darker gold, and the Dragon Balls don't actually have the individual stars painted on them. They're just gold balls, I guess. They are all stuck together, and it does come with an effect piece, which is painted in a nice bright yellow with some orange shading there in the middle, and you just pop that inside there like that and put it there underneath the display stand that it does come with. And yes, this display stand is pretty big. There is one main section going in the middle, going through the middle there for the body, and 2 other left and right supports there as well. Alright guys, so just some size comparisons and my final thoughts of the figure. You know, as you can see here, you know, I don't have all the Dragon Ball Z Figuarts figures with me, but with the few figures that I do have in my collection, along with the Figuarts Android 18 and Krillin there, it does, you know, make for a really impressive display. And what I'm going to say next might make me sound like I don't like the figure. So please, you know, don't get me wrong. I do like the figure. It is a really impressive piece, really well made. I don't really know what you would want more in a Shenron figure. It's articulated in the areas it should be articulated. It's really well sculpted. There are only a few paint apps on it, but you know what paint apps it does have, it is done really well, like most of the recent Figuarts figures, and it does come with, you know, an accessory that is relevant to the figure. But in saying that, you know, it's just going to stay in this position in my collection. Yes, it is an action figure. Technically it is an action figure, but you know, I think for most people it will be just a display piece, a backdrop piece for your collection. And for a backdrop piece, it is still pretty expensive. Depending on when you buy it, it's gonna, you know, cost you from, you know, $70 to up to $100, again depending on the place where you pick it up. I got it from Amazon, so I did get it at around about the 70 mark, but still, for a even for such a large piece like this, I think it's going to turn a lot of casual collectors away. But if you are serious about your Figuarts, Dragon Ball Z collection, if you are a perfectionist and you do need a Shenron in your collection, I'm sure there are plenty of other Shenron statues out there for similar price or for a lower price that you can probably get and can probably fill that void in your collection. But if you really do need an articulated Shenron figure, then this is probably the one that you're after. So I don't know guys, I don't think I can recommend it to everybody. It's definitely not for the casual collector, but nevertheless it still is a very impressive piece that will look fantastic on any Dragon Ball Z collection shelf. So yeah guys, let me know down in the comments below, are you guys planning to pick up this figure? Do you have this figure already? Do you know any alternatives for people who want a Shenron in their collection but don't really want to go down the SH Figuarts route? And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, what's going on, please feel free to subscribe. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you for the next one. Take it easy guys, bye. 蹴られた地球が起こる